The 365 Pro Wrestling.
365 Nation, I am joined today by Liza Hall. And if you haven't seen her wrestling, she's tearing it up right now. Liza, thank you for taking this time and doing this podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on today.
Now, you're a second-generation wrestler. Your mom was Raven Lake, and you also have a sister wrestler, Bambi Hall. How did their involvement in pro wrestling influence you to get in wrestling? Were they for it? Were they against it? Like, how did that family growing up with wrestling influence you?
Well, I grew up going to wrestling shows all the time, watching my mom wrestle or going to see her training at the school that she went to. And then when my sister started wrestling, I was like, oh my gosh, that's super cool. Like, I want to do this. And so then I think I was like 12 or 13, and I would just like get in the ring and play around, roll and stuff. And I think my love for wrestling just grew by getting to be around it so often.
That's amazing to be able to be in the ring at that age and know that you enjoy it and see your family doing it. Like, not too many other people can say that in our area or Ontario, like wherever 365 Pro Wrestling is. So that's definitely unique, and what a great influence.
Yeah, it's really cool, for sure. I know when I first started, my mom wasn't too keen on it. She was like, I want you to finish school, and then I want you to go to school after you're done high school.
Did you go to school after high school?
I did. I went to college, and I did a sports science program for kinesiology.
Very nice. Oh, that's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it was like a 2-year program. It was lots of fun.
That's awesome. Did you feel pressure, though, from the wrestling world because your mom and sister were already wrestling?
A little bit from people that I had already knew. Pardon?
I said, or were you already accepted because of people you knew?
I kind of went both ways. I definitely felt pressure that I needed to be really good, but I also knew that I had people behind me that would teach me and kind of help me out, carry me through it. For
sure. And I think at that time, like, women's wrestling's changed so much in the last even like 10 years. The area's like got some really talented ladies right now, and then you got some people. I think Nicole Matthews is doing like 14 years this year, and she's done so many things. So like, you have mentors plus your family. Like, did you see how it all changed throughout the years, and like, what are your thoughts on that?
I did kind of see it change. It went from like, even when I started 4 years ago, there was like 4 or 5 girls in the area who were actively wrestling, and then you saw maybe one girl show on a card, which sometimes it's the same today, but you also get to see more intergender wrestling and girls really getting to show what they can do other than being stuck in their the one girls match, you know. And having a lot of females now, there's like 7 or 8 girls around here now, which is really awesome.
And do you like intergender wrestling? I know when I first started PWA, we did a little bit of it. We did all women shows because we had more women in Ontario. But at first, I didn't get it. I like to wrestle them. That was fine. But certain guys I didn't feel could mesh well, and certain girls didn't mesh well. That was like the early 2000s. But now I think it's amazing. And I don't even know if I'm going to make a women's title, because I think any woman can win any title now, and we're all kind of mixed now.
Right. Yeah, I love intergender wrestling. I think 2019, 90% of my matches were with guys, which I thought was really cool. And for sure, there's lots of girls like who don't mesh with boys very well, but I think a lot of girls do.
For sure. I think you can just show your strengths, like you said. And that's just anything in wrestling. From 4 girls now having 100 different options to wrestle, that's a big deal. So
yeah, it goes from having a small pool of like 5 girls to being able to wrestle like 100 people, which is awesome.
For sure. And you wrestle more of a technical style, scientific style. What draws you to that?
Well, I did more mat wrestling in high school, so I got to go to tournaments and stuff like that. And I think that stuff translated into my like professional wrestling. When I started, I had a hard time like switching it over from like the stance and just the way my body moved with other wrestlers when I started training. So I think that kind of inspired me to be more of a mat wrestler, of a technical wrestler.
What was that the hardest, like changing your stance? Because I know in wrestling we have our left forward, and in your wrestling, in amateur wrestling, it's the right, is it not? Your strong arm?
Yeah, it's your strong arm, but it's also, you have to be like super low, keep your head down. Like you either want to be on top of the person or like right there with them. And like the difference from like taking everything that you want in like mat wrestling and then like working with people in professional wrestling, it's like a big change. It's a big difference.
You said it took a while, but once you got it, did it just click one day? You're like, oh, this is how I'm going to make this work.
Yeah, for sure. I think there was like a few, when I first started, like a few training sessions where they're like, you can relax, like just like take a breath, like you're good.
Nice. And you don't see a lot of the technical wrestling anymore. I think it's coming back myself. I think it's becoming big again. But recently you had a really great match against Daniel Makabe, and you're about to have another one. Like, was that your favorite match or one of your favorite matches last year?
Yeah, I think for 2019, my favorite match was probably with Daniel Makabe. The 3-2-1 Go tournament, I think, really helped me to establish what I want to do and really pursue or like push who I am. Another one I really liked was with Travis Williams, but it was in the same tournament as well. And I really got to like show what I can do in that tournament.
That's awesome. And the cool thing is now they have that on Twitch, so people can watch that all the time. I think it's on YouTube as well. So more people get to see your work now than just...
Yeah, you can watch the entire show, and you can watch like the specific matches on YouTube. And then I have my own YouTube channel where I post the matches as well.
What's the YouTube channel?
It's Liza_Hall.
Awesome. So if you want to check out some matches, you definitely check out Liza_Hall on YouTube, and you can see those. Now, in going into 2020, do you have any like goals that you want to achieve? Like, what's the mindset for this year?
Yeah, this year I really want to hit more companies in America as well as go to England. I know technical wrestling is really big over there, and I think I could learn a lot from just even going to schools or like wrestling on shows over there. I think that'd be awesome.
For sure. And do you know if like in England they train before the shows? I know we used to do that in Ontario a lot. Not so much anymore, but all the guys would get in and we just train around and work around.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not sure. Like, I've never been there before, so I'm not sure. But I know they do have a lot of schools there that are all spaced out.
And who are some of your favorite wrestlers to watch?
Right now, I've been watching like a lot of old school lucha, where they do a lot of chain and technical wrestling. But if I'm going to say somebody more new school, it'd be like Zack Sabre Jr. or... Jonathan Gresham is one who's with ROH right now. Those guys really have like the intensity that I like, along with their mat wrestling, more technical wrestling.
For sure. Those are two of my favorites to watch as well. I was staying at your guys' place one night. I went on the YouTube and I clicked it and I seen something I never thought I'd see on that YouTube channel.
Oh no. Oh, I know exactly what this is.
I seen a dirty little secret. Something I never thought I'd find, and it popped me because I just didn't think I'd see it. I seen Zona 23. I seen hardcore wrestling. And I seen some crazy bumps and clips on that highlight video. And I found out you watch it sometimes.
I do. I low-key kind of love that stuff. I would never do it in my life because I'm too much of a chicken. But watching it scares me, but it's also fun.
Popped me hard when I saw it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I can't believe half the stuff that those guys do.
Just wild.
Yeah. I can't believe you would want to do it. You said you wanted to try it, right?
Well, I've done some of it, but they are crazy. So they have a little too many light tubes and stuff. I had to do a little bit of that, and I've done a little bit of that, and it's not one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
So, but now moving forward in the Pacific Northwest, you're doing some huge matches. You got Cat Power. I know for 365, we have you with Travis Williams, especially because of that match I saw, and I'm like, I'd like to recreate that. I'd like to have that again. So what are you looking forward to in the next coming months?
In the next months, I do have this weekend with Daniel Makabe and Cat Power, which is going to be sweet. The same weekend, I'm at 365. On the Sunday, I'll be at WAC Without a Cause in... where is it? It's in Everett. Yeah. In Everett, and I'll be working Heather Monroe. I've never gotten to work her before, but I've seen a lot of her matches, so I think we'll mesh really well. I'm excited for that.
That's really cool. Well, I want to thank you for being on today and taking your time and doing this. I was wondering where people could find out more about you, and if you have any social medias where they can follow you online.
Yeah, for sure. My Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube are all Liza_Hall. And then I do have a Pro Wrestling Tees store online, which has my t-shirt as well.
Perfect. So check out Pro Wrestling Tees, get that t-shirt, add it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And thank you so much for doing this. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.